Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Troy Lombard. I'm here with St. Tammany Fire District 1. I'm here to present to you a community risk reduction plan I've been working on. With this plan, I'd like to see if we can make a reduction in some risk that I have identified through some data research. As you can see on our slideshow here, I have our demographics and our population to give you a little stats on it. The city of Slidell has a population of approximately 27,633 citizens. Covers approximately 15.2 square miles. There are 10,168 households with 2.69 persons per household. On our next slide, you see the department statistics. The last 3 years, there were 375 overall calls to a combination of structure fires, vehicle fires, and brush fires. Of those calls, 72 of them accounted for actually structure fires. 29 of those 72 had faulty or non-working smoke detectors in the residence. We've also noticed in these residents that a lot of that is in the low to average income household. So our risks we identified were determined by the review of the fire department response data over the last 3 years. It was determined that risks were house fires due to unattended cooking or devices, a home fire with missing or inoperable smoke detectors. I think a big deal with this is when a smoke detector aggravates somebody, us determine it's inoperable and they never replace it or do anything with it. They take the battery out and we merely just put it in a drawer. We see this on a regular basis. So on our next slide we're coming up with here, you'll see the community demographics. They compose of a household makeup of the community. The mean household income is roughly about $54,000 per year. There are 11,215 available housing units in the city of Slidell. 10,168 of those housing units are occupied, with 1,047 of those being vacant. Of the occupied housing, 7,085 are owned and 3,083 are rental units. The owned housing statistics show 96% are considered low to average income housing. The rental housing statistics show 93% are low to average income rental housing. The next thing I'd like to hit on is our education part of this. On our education, we sometimes go out in the community and we try to educate. And the more we educate, sometimes we feel like we're not getting anywhere. But I think as a community, we can come together and devise a plan to keep educating and have neighbors helping neighbors. In a housing development situation or a rental complex, we have neighbors that are close by each other. In those situations, we need to reach out to our neighbor. If we hear a neighbor with their smoke detector constantly going off, maybe we can reach out and say, hey, look, can I help you get a smoke detector? Or if we have an elderly person living next to us, let's reach out and see if we can't get a smoke detector or even repair the one that's in there. Check the dates on them. If you can't fix it, call the fire department. We will come out, we will look at it. We can help maybe fix it. The next thing is an economic incentive. This sometimes motivates people when they get a little incentive, and maybe we could get with the insurance commission and give some rebates. If we can go in as a department or even as a community and show where you have X amount of working smoke detectors in your residence, then we could sign off on it. You present that to your homeowner's insurance and possibly get 5, 10, 15, let's compromise a number that would give that rebate on your insurance for your smoke detector. I think as a community and local government, we can all come together and really find an economic initiative on this where maybe it's not coming out of so much pocket of the homeowner or the rental property, whoever handles all that. So I think we can, as a community, hit that pretty hard. The potential community effects with this community reduction plan is the risk to the occupants as well as the first responders. Homes without smoke detectors pose even greater risk. Home fires put occupants at risk, injury, even death. Many of the homes in the community have children, some older, some younger, some stay home alone. We have elderly, some of them bedridden. We have some of them that come and go throughout the day with the help of others. Some of them are hearing impaired, where we could obviously put a strobe light in this one for the hearing impaired. So there's a lot of community effects with this program that we can identify and look at one at a time. Then our mitigation on this. If you look at our flow chart on this slide, our mitigation, it can be rearranged and work in different ways. The one I come up with, and after this we could look at it and ponder different points on it and how to change it. But community outreach and education, which I've discussed already, that's I think that's a big one. Community outreach, fire department going out for fire prevention month, discussing. We go to schools, we hit a lot of community events. Maybe we're not hitting the proper ones, and that's what I want to talk to you as a local government and see if you have any input to what we can hit extra. I think we have a basket right here full of eggs, but I think we need to fill it more and reach everyone we can with this outreach program. So to help fund some of this, we could look at retail donations. We work now closely with Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart. They donate a lot to us on the retail donation side. We also need to work on building a low income program where if someone just strictly can't afford anything, instead of them, they might be too embarrassed to come out and say, hey, we can't afford a smoke alarm in our house, or we can't afford the proper items to repair ours. Maybe as a community, we can identify that, or a neighbor can write us and tell us, hey, look, at such and such address, we have a low income, or we have someone that possibly cannot afford new smoke detectors in their whole house. We can take that, go over there, do a donation, install them, have them all up and working, show them how to test them, keep them on an updated list on a spreadsheet where twice a year we can make sure we get to those households and replace batteries. Keep them maintenance. Let's keep a running program going. Let's not stop the program at any point. For no reason should anybody be left without a smoke alarm in their house, no means of what your income level is. We could get a hotline provided, and that would help in the situation of a neighbor knowing someone that needs one, or just a person that could call and say, hey, this is my address, I need someone to come out and check my smoke alarms, versus calling 911. I think the hotline would keep us from backing up a 911 line, possibly for a non-emergency. So that's another mitigation we can look at. For the budget, I would like to see the fire department set aside $10,000 a year to cover smoke detectors, batteries, just anything to help with our program. If we can purchase a lot of this instead of always going to our large retailers, which we go to a lot. And this day and age, I think the retailers are taking a hit on a lot of things. So if we can dedicate some of our monies to purchasing, that would be a great thing also. And like I've previously said, Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart, we apply every year with grants through those large retailers, and they usually set aside quite a few smoke detectors and batteries for all of these large retailers. So that's Heaven Sent, and we thank them very much for what they have done for our community. But if we could double that donation through the funds of the fire department, possibly triple it, I think we could put a big dent in these houses that do not have the proper or the properly maintenance smoke detectors. Our community outreach is another one. I think we need to make a better showing at possibly homeowners meetings and stuff like that to get these get the word out. If you have any friends, neighbors, anybody, let's start talking and getting out. And after this meeting, I'll be available for any kind of questions. We can sit down. I can give you my contact information, and maybe we can have another meeting in a few months, and we can work on better in this plan that I've come up with through ideas of our local community leaders, just homeowners organizations. If you have a plan in your own community that you want to share with us that would help our program, please feel free to. I'll give you my email address and all, and just whatever you can help me with, help you. We're gonna make all this happen, and my main concern is protecting our citizens. Thank you for your time, and hope everyone has a safe night.